G'day everyone. I got some reception, and I've just sort of staged out the next 2 days of the walk, where I'm going to cross the border tomorrow. I only need to do about 30k to do that, and then get to the old Genoa pub, which I think is a burnt down old building, which is at the intersection to Malakuta, about 25k, where I'm actually going to meet someone and travel out to Malakuta by car and be returned to that exact spot the following morning, because they've been asking. There's a couple of people at Malakuta who want me to visit, and within these teleport from the freeway rules that we've adopted, it's okay, it's not breaking any rule. So I thought, A, I'm a bit flogged with the heavy pack, B, there's a bit of weather coming in, it's just started to rain a little, and C, since it's light and I've got reception, it might be a good chance to just show you what I do, show you my gear and what I do when I camp. So firstly, I'll give you a quick rundown of the environment and what my thinking process is, because everyone's like, you're a bushman, Captain Australia, but I'm not. I'm just an ordinary, well, weirdo bloke from the suburbs of Brisbane. So over there you can see some heavy growth, right? So we don't like that, because barreling through that is hard work and you're also low visibility. But over here there's a nice patch where you can kind of see everything. So the hazards from snakes, and we're high, so there's less insect life, mosquitoes and all that sort of stuff. So all we want is a couple of viable trees, and ideally some kind of a windbreak. So we have a look around. We're kind of screened. No one on the road will be able to see us. We've got privacy. We don't have to worry too much about snakes, because there's good visibility. We just need to make plenty of noise as we stomp around, because they'll hear us and then they'll move. And when they move, we hear them. And so then the other thing to look at is tripping hazards, like this stuff here, and falling hazards, like that stuff up there, trees that are dead. So in this area that's been ravaged by fire, we don't want, there to be a lightning strike or something, bring down a dead branch and kill you in the middle of the night. So because all these trees have new growth on them, green, I think that means they're alive, photosynthesis and all that sort of stuff, but what do I know? I like trees that have a limb, a branch that the hammock can be held up on, but we don't really need that. We just need a couple of trees a good distance apart, and then I'll show you the hammock, the tarp and the gear. Well, I guess over here is as good as any. So the only downside of this is we're kind of at the top of a mountain. There's no natural windbreak, so I'll get the chill of the wind at night. And other than that, the fact that the trees have all been sort of hit by fire. These trees are too big and not close enough together. Sorry, this is just going to be one of these more technical Bushman Captain Australia kind of a posts, sharing the actual experience of it. So there I almost tripped then, and that's just on a loose branch. So when you're fatigued, you tend to drag your feet. Now why is tripping a problem? Look at this. So see this branch here? That's pointy, spiky, and pointing upwards. So if I tripped and came down on that, and that pierced the side of my throat, pierce the carotid artery, bleed out, dead in minutes. No one here to help. Someone finds my body after a bit of a search 2 weeks from now. Sad, sad end to a very strange story. Old man dressed like superhero, found laying beneath his pack in a pool of blood. So tripping hazards are, in my mind, one of the most serious hazards when you're bushwalking, camping, or even walking down the street, really. Tripping can be a serious problem. Now I have not pulled down my big flag there, as you can see. There's just not that much sort of canopy here to worry about, so I can be a bit lazy with that. Okay, let's see. Here's a couple of smaller, lighter trees. That one's well and truly dead, don't like that. Oh dear, Captain Australia. This is meant to be quick and exciting. Bang, bang, look at how quickly he got his tarp up. But here we are, wandering randomly, trying to select a place. Captain Australia. Oh, what are these mounds here? Any snake holes? So is this, I don't know if that's a wombat hole or not. Probably. Penelope says, hey, Captain says, hey, Brody, how was your day? Good, mate. I'm just really tired. Really tired because I've been carrying around a big, heavy, extra amount of water. So let's go bullying through the bush here and find a place where we can set up. And yeah, the plan is I only have to do the next couple of days. So I've got enough water and food for that. So we're all good. Diddly dee, no dead trees here. There's nothing to fear. Wish I had a beer. I might need a spear. If I see a deadly fox, that rhymes with blocks. What the hell's wrong with you, Captain Australia? Don't know, can't afford therapy. Okay, look. Let's just find a couple of viable trees and get started. This looks alright. Distance apart is okay. Alright, we found our spot. Now what I'm going to do is quickly look around. Oh, those trees are dead, I think. No, that's not coming down. I don't think there's any tremendous hazards here. And an expert camper will tell you, you fool, you're rolling the dice every time. So I'm going to clip you onto my chest and talk you through my gear. So this pack now weighs, I'll estimate 28 kilos. Oh! Okay, let's pull you off and we have my magic flag. Shortcut to understanding that I'm doing a walk for a kids' cancer charity. Pack itself soaked with sweat, very pongy. Underneath, we'll show you that in a sec. Wrapped up in there, that's the outer layer is a tarp, inside is a hammock, and inside that is the sleeping gear and stuff. Roll it over. Oh! This is my solar blanket, which I can, on a sunny day, use. This is a Go Captain Australia flag made by a lovely young man called Zach. These are peacock feathers given to me by this wondrous little girl named Aura. Michelle says, looks very windy. I hope you don't lose sleep over Einstein's pussy. Okay. Alright, now we have to kind of put a lid on that, I reckon. It was my fault, you know. I didn't start it. He's the one who's, oh, I'm sorry, Captain Australia. I wish I could stay with you, but I have to go look after my pussy. So he started it. And I don't think he was joking too. I think he's just a sweet man and that's how he thinks. But then I sort of rolled with the humour of it. And now we need to put a lid on it. Yeah, okay, so let me show you the lovely view here. A lot of sort of dead, ravaged forest, but it's very nice. And yeah, it will be windy here, but I do have 2 sleeping bags and thermals, so I think I can set up pretty comfortably, to be honest. Now, because I'm carrying too much food and drink, what I'm going to do, let's just show you the inside of my pack. Now this is, oops, face forward, Captain Australia. This is a parcel of food given to me today by a lovely lady on the side of the road, sandwiches. There's a pear in there that I've already eaten. There's a pear in there, and a chair as well. People with games. Now I'm carrying 1, 2, 3 litres of Powerade type drink. Could have just bought plain old water, but you know, what the hell. There's a lot of bars and stuff in here. And my clothes. Oh, don't tilt the iPhone, Captain Australia. Straighten it up. So inside there, main stuff in there is my clothing. We'll worry about that later. You don't want to see me get naked. Nobody wants to see that. Oh, maybe Jenny. No, she don't want to see it either. So what I'm going to do, the main thing is not letting anything contaminate the sleeping bag. So when I lift this up here, I've got my wet weather gear. Oh, now you need to look this way. See that khaki green one? That's a poncho. And inside is like an army greatcoat. So this is my wet weather gear, clothing, 2 layers that I can throw on if we get horrible stormy weather. Because in horrible stormy weather I still intend to walk. Now this thing, this is the sleeping gear. Now let's see if I can set you up with a view. Hang on. Because I've got this camera that will allow me to clip you on things. Clipping you on to somewhere, my son. Here we go, here's a little tree. We'll clip you on here and see. Aha. Oh, you're wobbling in the wind a little, but you might be able to see what I'm doing. So, before I set that up, I'll show you my gear, okay? So we're going to get partially naked without getting completely naked. So, it just makes it easier to move around. Water bottle. This contains a litre. Looks small, it's a full litre. Pouches. In here I have electronics. Battery pack for keeping the phone charged up. Contains about 12, 13, maybe 14 phone charges worth. I think you might be seeing a... Let's whip you down under here. Whip you down under here. Now you can see that. On this side, this is my front stuff. Contains Lucky Charms, currency, vaccination documents. That is my little lanyard thing. That's sunscreen. Through here I could have put my Maglite torch, which is good for thumping people who try to hurt me. I've never had to do that. It's also a torch. And I've lost it somewhere. It was a gift from a dear friend too. Very sad about that. But it was bloody heavy. First aid kit. I've got Compede and like blister. Oh, you're rocking back and forth. Blistery sort of treatment stuff in here, as well as general first aid like bandages. I think there's some antiseptic and other bits and pieces in there. So that's what I carry on my person. I also have 1, 2, 3 bottles of water. We will sort through all of that stuff in the morning, and in case I meet somebody who wants to hug and take a photo, diddly-diddy, Captain Australia, spray yourself so you don't stink as bad. There's that. Put the lid back on that bad boy. I don't want to take that into the hammock with me, it's so uncomfortable. This is a torch, which is a little LED torch, long life sort of thing. Lavender oil, which I will put on my feet once I'm in the hammock. And let's take this thing off. And the gloves. So once the hammock's up, I secure all this loose stuff so, you know, won't attract a pest like a little fox or something. And I never ever leave a mess. So if I drank one of those water bottles and had an empty, I'll carry the empty with me to the next town, even if it's 100 kilometers that way. Because I'm disgusted by all of the stuff you see on the side of the road. It's no good. That's not who we are. That's not who we need to be. We need to have respect for ourselves, the place that we're in, and each other. Okay, so 1, 2. You see, the hammock is actually deceptively long. Once you factor in the strings and everything, so the trees to set it up on can be quite a distance apart. And if they're too close, you wind up with the hammock touching the ground, which is not comfortable at all. So, remove a little bit of string, and this is just all wrapped up to avoid contamination by pests. Now, if I look under here, at the very end is a rope and a carabiner. This. So I can just easily go over here, and I don't know, I'll have to tilt the camera, I think, so you can see. Anybody mad enough to still be watching, Captain Australia, fixing a hammock. So, this is the magic rope. We worry about the tarp after. First thing is get the hammock up. So, carabiner, click that, pull this bad boy out. I'm going to use this tree here. And you want to check there's no spiders. So, and I may very well stuff this up if I've misjudged the distance, and you can adjust it after. First thing is to get it up, and it's the weight of the hammock that's keeping that in place. Once you have the other end up, it's just, you know, gravity is my co-pilot. So, stretch this out. The main thing is we just don't want to allow any leeches or pests into the sleeping area of the hammock, which is all sealed, but have learned from our mistakes, or my mistakes. Same deal, get this rope, come over here, and I'm sorry if you can't see this, I'm thinking you can't. Now, same deal, they wanted it roughly the same height. Oh, I've stuffed it up. No, I haven't. It's just right. It's a little bit tight, but that actually makes it more comfortable for sleeping. Let me come and see how the camera's positioned. Oh dear. So to the two people watching, thank you. I'm delighted. I hope that this is at least entertaining. Now, this tarp just goes over the top of the hammock, right? And once it's up, it protects all the equipment underneath as well. I think you might be too high and blowing in the wind. The answer, my friend, is blowing in the wind. The answer is blowing in the wind. Okay, so this is the rope for the tarp. Thread that through there. Nice and easy. Comes up here. I'm not an expert of knots by any stretch. The goal is just to make it strong enough that it won't come unraveled in a high wind. And that's done for this side. Maybe triple knot it just to make it extra firm. Now if this were near a river or something, mosquitoes would be trying to constantly eat me. In which scenario I would, oh you can't see me, can you see me? I don't know. In that scenario I would have sprayed myself with the old Bushman's before doing any of this. Because who wants to be eaten by mosquitoes? Nobody does. Okay. Bugger it. I've made this too tight. I need to loosen this up a bit. The tarp is longer than the hammock, but not by much. So you kind of need to measure by eye, and I made this way too tight at this end. Boring the crap out of Australia. Here we go. Tie that up again, and then again. You probably can't even hear me. You're probably just seeing a pretty view. Hello. Shout out to my mate Archer. Good on you, Archer. I hope you're doing okay in hospital there, my friend. And tangled up on branches now. Okay. So this doesn't have to go on the same tree. I'm just going to tie it on this one. Easier. Still nice and tight. Let's go check this camera out. Okay. I apologise, I have no idea if you can see any of that. Let's see, is the stream even still going? The stream is still going. So, let's step back and I'll show you. So that tarp secured there, and the hammock's underneath it. So, if we have a look, you can see the hammock there, and the tarp has the option to either, you can pin it into the ground or tie it to a tree. I prefer tying because it's more reliable. Florence, Chloe, this not appropriate and not what this stream is about. What? Who's arguing about what? What's happened here? Someone's having an argument. Great setup. Yes, just thought I'd show you the gear. Brody is a child. What's happened here? Somebody said something dodgy, I think. Oh no, I'll have to look back after. Brody, you look handsome. Send me a friend request. Let's chat on Messenger. Okay. Oh dear. We'll have to suss that out and make sure there's no dodgy scammers again. Every so often you just get some scumbag from Bangalore contaminating a community. And it's just some Indian idiot pretending to be a white single hottie or whatever they're trying to do, just to scam. It's disgusting. It's appalling. It's morally bankrupt and it's sad. And it's happened twice now. I've had to ban people. I hate banning people. I think everybody should be welcome and everybody can be friends. Anyway, so yeah, we pin this tarp down and then it's all secure underneath. The tarp is brilliant at resisting the rain. All the gear underneath is protected. And then I can just load what I need into the hammock and we're good to go. So I'll kill the stream there and I'll look back and make sure there's no hanky-panky in the chat. And if there is, I'll just ban the responsible person. And apologies if my neglect has allowed that to ferment. I might do a chatty stream later to talk about the border crossing and, you know, maybe, because we're on the edge of a momentous day, do a little bit of a review of the walk so far. So my name's Simon and I'm just an old buffhead. I think of myself as on a quest to save the world, because if you save but one life, you save the world entire. But I guess that makes me pretty mental. I'm going to finish packing up, put on my thermals, make myself comfortable, and I'll stream again later because I'm lucky to have some reception here, which is awesome. So it's going to be, once this is set up, see how it flops around in the wind, but once it's all pinned down and set up, it resists the weather well. I've got enough to stay warm. I've got enough food and drink, so I'll be quite comfortable doing a couple of nights of forest camping. And then on the third day, I'll head out to Malakuta and visit some people there. So I don't have to take on any more water than I have, which is about 6 litres, and it's good to kind of have to do the toil again. I am so covered in sweat. I don't know if you can kind of see how dark the old uniform is there. That's sweat. So it's all going to be all manky and stinky. After about the third or fourth day, possums start falling out of trees when I walk past, just from the envelope of stench that extends out from me. Lynette, reception's very good. Lovely. Awesome. I'm delighted. So we'll do a chatty stream later. I'd love to have a chat and talk about 60 days, how far we've come. All right, thank you so much for your time. I'm just going to strip down, get dressed and make myself comfortable, and we'll do another stream in a little while. Take care of yourselves.